Hi guys, Rebecca here. Today is 10/11/2017. Just getting on to do a real quick short update. Um, today is 10/12/2017 in New Zealand. We're just going to run down the quakes from yesterday and into today. We'll start with the 11th. We're going to start with a 2.7. This was in the South Terran occupied area. And I'm going to go with the deeper quakes. We had a 2.3, which was 81 kilometers in depth. And this was off of Golden Bay. That was followed by a 2.3 at 22 kilometers in depth. We had a 2.1. That was 78 kilometers in depth. This was over here at Topo. In Waigamata Bay. The next was a 3.0. It was 115 kilometers in depth. And this was over here near Wakefield and Stanley Brock. The next two quakes were 2.5, 2.1, 2.8, 2.1, 1.7, 2.6, 2.5, 2.6, and 2.3. The last one was a 3.2. And this was over here near Tararua Forest Park. And Mount Holsworth. We can also see that it's following a river area. The Wangawa River. And next to Katuna. Now we'll go on to the 12th. And our first quake is going to be a 2.2. This is back over here at Seddon area. The next quake was a 1.9 followed by a 2.1 followed by a 2.2, which was followed by a 2.6 at 108 kilometers in depth. And this was over here off the end of the North Island before the Bay of Plenty. The next quake was 1.8 followed by a 2.2, which was followed by 1.5, a 2.5, 1.8, 1.4, which was followed by 1.9 at 131 kilometers in depth. This was at Lake Taupo. The next quake was a 1.6 that was followed by another 1.6, a 2.2, which was followed by a 2.0 at 82 kilometers in depth. This was at the tip of the South Island. And that's near Lake Tunnel. And that's North Ford. This is where I get lost. There we go. That was followed by 1.8 at 1.7, 1.2, and a 1.5, which was followed by a 2.4 at 76 kilometers in depth. This was also back over here near Topo area. Let's take a look. So that is the Topo mill and moldings plant. So maybe over here we can get a view. And we can see that it's back in there. And it appears to be an industrial area. The next quake was a 1.6. It was followed by a 3.0 at 51 kilometers in depth. This was down at the tip of the South Island. The next quake was a 2.1. It was 63 kilometers in depth. It was over here by Litchfield Road and Lynchville School. The next quake was a 3.8. And this was off land, off the end of the North Island, Hicks Bay area. The next quake was a 2.3. This was over here in Hawke's Bay. The next quake was a 1.4 and it was followed by a 3.1 at 50 kilometers in depth. This was also over here at the end of the North Island, near Tawera. This is the Bay of Plenty area. The next quake was a 2.6. It was 147 kilometers in depth. This is near Areki Korako Geothermal Park and Cave. There was one over in this area the other day, which was over on this side. The next quake was a 1.9. It was followed by a 3.0. This 3.0 was back here at the Seddon area. Next quake was a 2.0. It was followed by a 2.5, which is down here near Kekora area. That's Culverden. And Leslie Hills. The next quake was a 2.2, and it was back over here at South Taranaki Bight area. And the last quake was a 1.6, and this was over here at the Seddon area. This is Lake Grassmere right here. Anyways, you guys, much love, and please tune into Dutch Sense in a half an hour on his channel. Thank you.